Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. My name is Connor Walk from GMS Toronto. Peace and salutations to the brothers out there who's doing the works. It's just another lesson. Today is December the 2nd. Today is December the 2nd, and I was just contemplating, yesterday at camp there's a guy, he was listening, and he saw us before, and one of the brothers actually knows the guy, he saw us before and he was compelled to listen, but every time he would see us, he would be on the opposite side of the street and kind of stay for like a couple minutes and then just leave. But yesterday, the spirit had it where he stayed and he was listening to what we're saying, and then we got some of the milk scriptures, man, because when you're on the highways and byways, when you're teaching, and you see someone there is listening, and let's say they're listening, it's their first time there, or they happen to come back, more than once, don't go into no heavy breakdowns. Go into the milk, go into the basics. We have to take it back to the basics for all the newcomers, for those who's not, on a level, for those who just learning about their nationality, man, because there's gonna be a lot of guys who's gonna be converted, who's gonna come into this thing, and who's gonna be of the elect, because if the elect was sealed, right now we wouldn't be out there. So there's gonna be a lot more people who's gonna be in the fold, who's gonna be joining camps, who's gonna be studying, and all that, man. So we have to get back to the basics. So this is Genesis 25, verse 21. It says, and Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. So Rebekah, she couldn't bear seed. She couldn't have children, So Isaac prayed to the Lord to open up her womb, and that's what the Lord did. And the children struggled together within her, and she said, if it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord, and the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowel. So even though they're twins in the womb, the Lord, he separated us from the womb. From the womb, he said 2 different nations. So there were 2 men in her womb, 2 boys, fraternal twins, not identical, and the Lord, he separated. He created that division. 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And when you look into Esau, his traits compared to our traits, they have completely different mannerism, man. We're the most dominant, in everything. Dominant. Our genes are the most superior on earth. We have the most brilliance going into inventions, everything. On all levels, when it comes to life on this planet, we're the dominant ones. And Esau is the one who's not dominant. Esau, he's very recessive. He has those recessive genes, man. He's a degenerate, because these Edomites, they can't even stand out in the sun, man. They stand in the sun too long, they get sunburn. They increase their risk of skin cancer. They're lacking vitamin D. they're the most ill ill-natured or deformed nation of people on the planet, man. They have blonde hair, blue eyes, all that's all. And when you have blonde hair, that's leprosy of the scalp, man. According to Leviticus, you know, they're degenerate on all levels, man. They embrace all kinds of wickedness, paganism, witchcraft, homosexuality, and all type of lewd behavior, man. Because that's in their spirit. Because the Lord, He created them to be the wicked. It says, and the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. So listen to that point there. And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb, and the first came out red all over like an hairy garment. So that's why when we're making videos and we're on the highways, we don't call you Caucasian people white people. We say so-called because you're not white. You're really red. You're different shades of red, like how we're not black. We're different shades of brown. All right. And Esau means wasted away is he. What was wasted away? His pigmentation, because he came out the womb with no pigmentation, man. Which is a curse from the Lord. He came out as a clean leper. When you read Leviticus, there's different types of leprosy, but he came out with leprosy of the flesh. And after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, which is symbolic, meaning that we're gonna be the future rulers, meaning that Esau would be our subject in the future, which is prophecy right now. When you get Second Esdras, when you jump into the Apocrypha, which is a part of the King James Bible, which was taken out by the Biblical Destruction Group, because when you read First Maccabees, it says who the wicked are. It goes into Antiochus, Epiphanes, Maccabees, and so on, and states that they're the wicked. So that's why they had to take this book out, man. So 2 Ezra 6 and 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? So who came out first? Esau, right? Who's in rulership right now? Esau. All right. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning that followeth. So that's symbolic of us coming to power now. So that's a prophecy that hasn't been fulfilled. It says, the first came out red all over like an hairy garment. They called his name Esau, and after that came his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. Which the name Jacob means supplanter. Because we supplanted the so-called white man out of his birthright, even though it was set up through the spirit. It says, Isaac was 80, score is 20, so he was 60 years old when she bare them. The boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. And what's one of Esau's traits? He's a great hunter. Esau is a man that loves to hunt. He loves to kill. That's his blessing. His blessing was the sword. He's a great hunter, man. You can't fuck. No one on this planet right now could fuck with Esau when it comes to military, weapons, martial arts, all that stuff, man. When you go into the art of war, no one could fuck with Esau right now on that level, because that's what the Most High blessed them with, the sword. Right? And Jacob was a plain man dwelling in tents. When you look up the word plain just means righteous, upright in morals and stuff. That's Jake. Jake is just laid back and chill. When we're in our right state, we laid back, chill. We like to sit back, drink some wine, have our woman, spend time with our family, eat good food. We're simple. You know, we're not all into this into folly and stuff when we're in our right state of mind, dwelling in tents. Yeah. So we're just simple, man. And Isaac loved Esau because he did eat of his venison, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Yeah. So it says that, Isaac he loved Esau, man. Esau's a good cook, man. When you go to their restaurants, go to the Keg or Moxie's or whatever restaurant, they have those little high-end restaurants, and you order a steak, or you might order whatever, some pasta or whatever you like. Fucking Esau could throw down, man. Esau's a great cook. One moment, phone. Yeah, so like your phone just rang. So it said, and Jacob sowed pottage, and Esau came from the field. Yeah, so I was saying that, yeah, Esau is a great cook, man. And Jacob sowed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. So Esau went hunting, trying to find a food, so he's lazy, man. So Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray thee, with that same red pottage. With the red pottage, it wasn't fully cooked, it had blood in it. For I am faint. Therefore his name was called Edom, red. So instead of waiting for the food to be done, he wanted it right away. He couldn't even wait for the he couldn't even wait maybe another 20 minutes, half an hour, man. He wanted that right now. When he smelled Jacob cooking up that stew, man. And Jacob said, sell me this day thy birthright. And Esau said, behold, I am at the point to die, and what profit shall this birthright do to me? And that's what's going on right now, man. It's like Esau, he sold his birthright, man. And that's why we inherited all those great blessings, even though it was set up in the spirit. When you read Romans 9 and 13 and so on, it goes into it. And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore unto him, and he sold his birthright unto Jacob. So he was low. He's a piece of shit. Just like how Cain, he tried to sacrifice unto the Lord. Like Abel, he sacrificed the firstling of his flock. Cain, he sacrificed the first fruits of his Abel sacrificed the first thing of his flock. Cain sacrificed the first fruits of his crops, which wasn't acceptable to the Most High, and he knew that. So Esau, he sold his birthright, so for a plate of food, So he never had any morals. He wasn't right from the beginning, and that's why the Most High separated us from the womb, man. Because he created a wicked on the earth just to show, his power, just to show balance, as to how not to be. So Esau is just he was just created basically as a trial run as to how not to be, and he's going to be destroyed ultimately. And then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink, and rose up and went his way. Thus Esau despised the birthright. So he didn't even regard it, man, and be like, you know what, I shouldn't even do this, man. I'm just going to hold it out. But he never thought like that, because he wasn't right, man. He wasn't right from the get-go. But I'm going to cut this lesson short. I have a couple stuff got to do. So with that, I'd like to say, Kal Halal, Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai, Bashem Rakwadash, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutation to the brothers out there who are doing the works. And Kwam Yasharallah. Shalom.